Hello everyone, my name is Milan Sharma. Welcome to the Milan Sharma Show. And I'm going to do a video segment that I usually don't do too often, is that I'm going to comment on Bill Maher and so he's doing an interview with Boris Epstein. And he's a political strategist for a conservative network on the internet. I just learned this from the intro. I don't really know him too well, to be honest with you. But I just stumbled upon this video, and I couldn't help myself but to do a video segment on this because just take a look at what I'm not a conservative, to be honest with you, but take a look at what Bill Maher's stupidity is and how this conservative is totally winning the argument.
Looks like he's trying to get impeached. It looks like he's admitted obstruction of justice at least twice. You don't see it that way?
Absolutely not. Here's what I see. What I see is that there's absolute coordinated attack against the president. Look at this. Just since he left, since he's been in the air, there have been 4 or 5 stories, all in anonymous sourcing, that tried to be detrimental to the president. Why? What's the point? He's going on this great trip. First time a president has gone.
Okay, so right here, this guy, Mr. Epstein, is absolutely 100% correct. There's been coordinated leaks. There's been leaking inside the Trump administration that has leaked private conversations between Trump, and sensitive material of Trump. For example, when Michael Flynn got ousted, people inside the Trump administration actually leaked out the information, and they listened in onto Michael Flynn's contacts with the Russian ambassador, and that's illegal. They leaked that to the press, and the press reported that, and he got ousted. And why did they do this? Because the CIA does not want ease. They do not want to ease in relations with Russia. They want a World War III. They want an escalation of military confrontation with the country of Russia. And Trump campaigned vigorously on opposing this, and that's a big reason why he won the election, is because he was more, even though the Republican Party as a whole is more hawkish than the Democratic Party, or well, now you can say after Obama's bombing campaign of 7 Muslim majority countries, they're pretty much equal on the embodiment of war. Trump is campaigning on being anti-war, and then that's a big reason why he won. So he wanted to ease sanctions on Russia, and of course the intelligence community did not want to have any of that. So they leaked out information, sensitive information, of Michael Flynn contacting Russia about it, which was all legal. He was able to do this. The FBI cleared him any wrongdoing, according to a New York Times article. You can look it up. The FBI cleared him in February. So there's no wrongdoing with this whatsoever. So Mr. Epstein is absolutely correct. So I'm going to skip ahead. I'll put the video link below if you want to see the whole interview, but I'll skip ahead, and this is very, very interesting. Now, Bill Maher is going to talk about one of my favorite issues regarding Russia. Now, before I make any comment, I want you to hear Bill Maher out, and how much of a dummy he sounds. So take a listen to this.
Completely now nailed down by law enforcement. Let's just go to the part that's incontrovertible.
All right, wait a second. Let me go back for a second. Let's listen to this.
Well, we'll see. But shouldn't okay? Since we're not going to agree on the part that isn't completely now nailed down by law enforcement.
First of all, it wasn't nailed down by law enforcement. These are unnamed officials. These are not. These aren't people. These are unnamed officials that are making accusations of the President of the United States without any conclusive evidence to present to the public. So this is not any nail down of law whatsoever. So sorry, Bill Maher, for disappointing you and disappointing your narrative of false equivalency, but that is just not true.
Let's just go to the part that's incontrovertible, which is that the Russians meddled in the election.
So first of all, Bill Maher, right here, Bill Maher wants to come to agreement with a Trump supporter, Boris Epstein, that Russia meddled in the election. Now, Now, this is what Bill Maher is doing right here is not, instead of talking about policy substance, instead of talking about what the bombing of Syria that Trump participated in, or just basic policy initiatives that Trump is proposing or initiating, such as Trump Care and why that'd be so detrimental to millions of Americans, instead of talking about these pressing issues that the American people actually care about, they're talking about Russia, which it even like there's so Bill right now Bill Maher is deflecting on talking about real issues that affect the American people directly into a narrative that is just very mainstream with no substance whatsoever.
All 17 of our intelligence agencies say that. You would agree to that, right?
Well,
Come
seriously,
on. Come on.
We can get into the back and forth and into the minutia of that letter you're talking about, because
No,
actually,
letter.
the 17
All
agencies you're talking
17
about.
agencies have said Russia did.
So do you think the president didn't win the election?
Answer my question
Right.
first. All 17 of whose side are you on?
I'm on.
Okay, so right now he's saying that 17 intelligence agencies have. He's saying that they've all concluded that Russia meddled in the United States elections. Now, first of all, the CIA is highly confident, and the CIA is not a good source of information if you know anything about the CIA. I mean, I'm a young guy. I'm a teenager. I'm 17 years old, and even I know the CIA is not a useful source of information. The CIA is what the CIA director said that the Patriot Act was not listening in on Americans, wasn't wiretapping on Americans' phones, which is totally false. And John Brennan, former FBI or former CIA director John Brennan, said that the CIA was not spying on American senators when the opposite was true. And plus, the CIA and the intelligence community said that it was a bombshell revelation that there was weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, which turned out not to be true and cost the lives of at least 1 million Iraqi civilians. So, Bill Maher, intelligence community, if the intelligence community does not provide evidence for its claims, I'm not going to believe that, and you shouldn't either. So you're just using this narrative of intelligence community's claims based off unnamed officials to fit your narrative, which is disgusting.
America's side.
Okay, but then all of our intelligence agencies say this. You don't back
So
them
there's
up?
a special counsel.
The intelligence community is not on our side. Okay, there's a thing called the deep state, Bill Maher, which you probably don't know too much about, and that is made up of unelected bureaucratic officials who, similarly to the EU, where unelected officials make up the leadership of the European Union, the deep state is made up of unelected officials in the United States, basically part of the CIA, who basically wants to undermine the United States and and pushes for war. You saw this with the resignation of Michael Flynn. You saw this with the hiring of H.R. McMaster for National Security Advisor, who wants more aggression with Russia, who wants more troops in the Middle East. So the only thing that the intelligence community does to help Americans is really not. The abolishment of the CIA is necessary for a democracy to be functioning. And in the words of Julian Assange, I'll end this thing with this: that the CIA has been funding dictatorships and overthrowing of governments. In fact, the CIA has meddled in 81 elections, but you will never hear Bill Maher say that because he loves and he kisses the butt of the intelligence community. So give me your thoughts below. And subscribe to my channel to support the channel. Thank you for listening, everybody. I appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter at my Twitter handle, Real Milan Sharma. And click the notifications button up here to get notified of my videos. Thanks for listening. like what you just heard, YouTube, go to youtube.com, search my name, Milan Sharma. Click my name right here and subscribe to my channel for more videos such as these. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate it.